obviously there's pressure. Like we know we have to win. We know we don't have a lot of time. Like just kind of everything is going against us right now at this point. So it's just been like we've really been putting our heads down and grinding.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT America Stage 2. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied once again by crashies of NRG who are coming off of a 2-0 loss to G2 Esports in set split. And so, crashies, really do appreciate you giving me the time once again for another conversation. Unfortunate it's coming off of a loss, but such is the case. Just sort of asking you the obvious, how are you feeling?
Definitely disappointed. Just because we've been practicing so hard and really putting the time in the server and just everything as a whole. We feel like we have a really strong foundation and everyone's been putting in like 100%, even more. So it just sucks that we aren't seeing the results that we're expecting. So yeah, definitely sucks.
For sure. I want to jump real quick into just the first map and the composition. Putting in the Deadlocks Clove and Yoru. Clove on Victor, Ethan on Yoru, Finesse on Deadlock. I mean, it definitely surprised many people, myself included, when I was watching the game. Just want to ask you about how did that even get conceived? When did that whole thing kind of start being put into play for you guys?
Yeah, so there was another team running it. I'm not going to say who, just because they haven't played it yet, but there was another team running it, and we played against it, and we felt like it was very hard, like when you first play against it, to deal with it. It's just like a lot of smokes, and as an initiator player on that map, it feels like pretty pressuring for you. So we were practicing it like a lot, I would say, and we had a lot of success in practice with it. It wasn't something that like we just tried one day and just stuck with it. We really put a lot of time into it. Had a lot of ideas. But yeah, just unfortunate didn't really work out today.
Then I gotta ask you about the follow up. You just, given what you said about how you guys were feeling, how you guys were looking at the composition and the potential that it had for it being put into an official, then, I mean, obvious, what went wrong?
Um, I mean, our defense side was just so bad, I would say. I think we got like 4 rounds, but we always start pretty slow, I would say. In both the maps, we start off like 5-0 or 6-0 down. We're getting bonused in the rounds. We're losing pistols. It's very hard, especially in Valorant. It's a very momentum-heavy game. It's very hard when you're always put on like the back pedal and trying to catch up. Economy, they have ults. You just fall so behind, and it just like keeps snowballing and snowballing. But I think, yeah, like defense sides are our biggest problem right now. I feel like attack sides are really good just because we have FNS back, so he kind of like can bring it back always on attack side. But defense side and slow starts, I think, was just the story of today.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about that as well. Just sort of not being able to start off at a good position. Always having to start off on a deficit, consecutive rounds. As you said for today. I mean, what do you think causes the team to just not able to start off on the right foot for both of these maps today?
Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I haven't watched the VOD back yet, so I don't really know exactly what happened. We've only talked about it a little bit, and everyone like gave their thoughts on what they think, but it's really hard to like pinpoint certain things just until you watch the VOD. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't know.
For sure. Now, kind of moving on towards just sort of the stage overall. With the team making changes to the roster, bringing back some finesse. Well, technically changes, but you guys already know each other by that point. Just want to ask about how the process has been, just having those two return to the squad and just having to tweak a lot of stuff, I assume, with what little time you guys have at your disposal. Because of course, you are having to do this literally, I believe, 1 month before start of stage
Yep.
2, and then having to have literally like all of your season being played in less than a week. So how you guys kind of been handling that?
For me personally, it's like pretty devastating. Like it's been very grueling and hard. And obviously, like we're all okay with that. We've been grinding, haven't taken an off day, but even though we've all played together and have like that chemistry, you still need the time inside the server to like get everything down. Every team that we're playing right now has basically like been a team since the start of the year or whatever. since the start of Split 1 at least. So it's just like we had to get so much down in a month: comps, fundamentals, ideas, reactions, ult plays, trap plays. There's so much that goes into like being a good team. And I really feel like time has just been like kind of hurting us. Obviously, we don't look very clean at times, and there's just certain scenarios that if we had more time, it could go a different way. So it's just like for me personally, it's just been kind of hard. We made a roster swap as well mid-season. It's just been very hard, I'd say, this year.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about that. It sort of does feel like for this entire year, not just looking at this current version of the NRG squad, you guys never really just had time to get things going.
Yep.
Be either preparation and even during the tournament, even during the season. I mean, how frustrating is that? Just kind of work through that amidst difficult circumstances.
It's very frustrating. Like if I'm gonna be honest, this whole year has just felt like we've been playing catch up. Even like our last iteration with Marv and Demon One, we had to wait so long to get Ethan and Demon One out of Evil Geniuses, and like we like going into kickoff, we were one of the least practiced teams. Like, so for me, it just feels like this year has all been catch up. We've just been behind everyone. So it's definitely been very frustrating, I'd say, from my perspective.
And on top of that, just having to, as I said, play in a schedule where, I mean, 3 games within the space of a week, basically all that's basically all of stage 2 for NRG. I mean, how difficult is it going to be for you guys, and also for you specifically, to just have to work in a schedule like this where you have to do plenty of adjustments, try to catch up, and just play well.
So yeah, I think overall the format is probably the worst format they have ever made. Like it definitely sucks, especially like this split. It sucks for like Som and FNS to come in and like potentially like we could be out of playoffs already with only playing 2 games. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's very frustrating just to have them deal with that as well. Um, I don't really mind the super week where there's a bunch of matches or whatever. I actually like enjoy it because playing on stage and playing matches is I feel like that's what every pro enjoys. That's what you work so hard for. It's the most fun. So yeah, that's what I would say for that. But the format, just in general as a whole, in every region, is just where they carry over the record of the first split is just pretty like hard. And if you had a bad first split, it's very hard to come back. So
It does it feel like the pressure is really rising for this team and also for yourself, just to try to do well and then qualify for playoffs? Do you feel the pressure mounting?
I wouldn't say you like physically feel it. I mean, obviously there's pressure. Like we know we have to win. We know we don't have a lot of time. Like just kind of everything is going against us right now at this point. So it's just been like we've really been putting our heads down and grinding, and just trying to become the best versions of ourselves to bring out on the match day. And I think once we're on that stage, I don't really think we feel the pressure. We just kind of like listen to each other and our game plan and just try to play the best that we can.
As it stands right now, NRG are currently have a 35 record, sitting at around ninth place in the overall table, around 1.5 games back from reaching or getting into the playoff picture. Where do you kind of look at this team's chances of making playoffs and just having to start and end this season on a very good note?
So yeah, obviously we have next 2 games coming up against Crew and C9, and obviously it's like probably the hardest schedule we could have gotten going into Split 2, especially with FNS and Sam coming back. So yeah, I mean we have one off day tomorrow, which is not really an off day. We still have practice, so we're just gonna try and review everything, try to make adjustments, and just try to play our best that we can on that Crew game, and just carry that momentum forward going into C9 as well.
What do you think is the biggest thing that the team has to address amidst this short preparation for the next match against Crew, from your point of view?
From my point of view, just everyone being on the same page at all times, I would say. That is the biggest thing, in my opinion.
Okay, I understand that, and I mean, amidst this difficult circumstance, hopefully you guys are able to just pull through. Crashies, I'm gonna wrap up the interview right here. Thank you so much for taking the time for doing another interview amidst a loss. And obviously, not many people would do an interview like this, but for you to do that, I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Thank you
problem.
so much, and of course, best of luck goes to you moving forward.
Thank you, Pedro.